So why it is only this day is the problem? Because in this day, in a few hours, the market will shut down and there is no buying, no selling, and all the Jews will be home. They will refuse to open their stores. And Muhammad, he did live between the Jews. And the Arab, they are not people who make product. The Jews are the one who do the farming. The Jews, you know, they are smart people. What we can say, we cannot deny that. The Arab are, you know, Bedouin, people of the desert. The best they can do is exchange some goats, camels, with some product made by others. But they themselves, they don't make product for sale. The Jews, they are good in everything. If you go right now to Israel, go to Al-Najaf desert, you will see that the Jews are turning the Najaf, the desert, literally, they are turning the desert into heaven. But this land is always desert. So they are the best in farming in the world. Actually, the best technique of farming in the world today is the one is coming from Israel. And everybody is copying, even Iran, actually. Somebody is asking what the point. I don't know, your name is Siko Mako. You know, some people, they want to know the point before we start even the conversation. We just started, and a person, he is complaining, what's the point? You know, I'm afraid that you are a kind. If your wife, she says to you, honey, would you like to go to bed? You say to her, what's the point? She call you again after 1 hour. You say, like, what the point? She say, okay, do you like to come, you know, sit next to me, watch TV? What the point? Oh boy. No wonder you will never have kids. So, all believers who they are doing shopping in the day of a Friday, leave everything in your hand and come to the mosque. Because what's the point? The point is, we will not have food to eat if we don't do shopping. What are you talking about? So Muhammad, he have to enforce it on them. And he have to make it an obligation, not just a choice. And then the Muslims, they start saying, this is the day we should pray, Friday. And then Muhammad, to give them excuse after he made this verse, people start complaining. So he said, oh, okay, you know what? Then after the prayer finished, scatter and do whatever you want. Just go and do whatever. But here we ask ourselves, what's up with the Friday? Why people, they are coming to the prayer every day except Friday? Simply, it was Saturday. All right. So, going back to the verses speaking about Allah making those who break the Sabbath as pigs and monkeys, why Allah never enforced the Sabbath on the Muslims? You know, when Muhammad, he came to the city of Yathrib, he saw the Jews fasting. Muhammad, he have no idea what is that. He claimed to be a prophet, but he know nothing about the Jews, about their books. He just moved in. And then when he walked by between the Jews, he asked them, what's today? Why it's fasting? Why you are off today? What's happening? Why it is Sabbath? You see, the day, a holy day for the Jews, is a Sabbath. All right? Muhammad, he claimed that The Jews, they used to fast in the day of the 9th. At that month. Muhammad, he changed it and make it at the 10th. If you read the translation here, it doesn't say anything, but in Arabic it's so long. Why? Because Muhammad, he noticed that the Jews are accusing him to copy them in everything they do. So he started fasting Ashura, the day which is the 10th, not the 9th. And this is what it says here in Arabic. But if we continue, when Muhammad, he asked the Jews, he said about what is this day? They said, oh, this is the day when Moses, he crossed the sea. This is when Moses crossed the sea. And by the way, there's many references, even the pagan, they used to fast the same day, which is very confusing. But we will go with Moses now. Let us see where is the hadith. Look at this hadith here. He said that when God's messenger fasted on the day of Ashura and commanded that it should be observed as a fast, he was told it was a day held in honor by the Jews and the Christians, and said, if I'm spared until next year, I shall fast on the 9th. So he's just like adding a day, supposedly, according to this calendar here. And here you notice, you ask yourself, if this day is a Sabbath day, Sabbath is not necessarily a Saturday. Sabbath is any holiday for the Jews or the Christians. Sabbath is a day you observe or you give to the Lord. That is Sabbath. So the Sabbath here is a holiday observed by the Jews and the Christians, and it's honored by them. Muhammad, he wanted to fast this day, and he is fasting it. But they gave him attention. He said, listen, Prophet, this is a day where the Christian and the Jews, they honor it. What Muhammad, he said, he will change the day. And here you ask yourself, if Muhammad is a prophet and he is following the God of Moses, why he is changing the day? You know what I mean? He claimed that if you fast the day of Ashura, Allah will erase your sin for a year in the past, and some story says in the year to come. But where Muhammad he learned that? He just learned about the day from the Jews. He never heard of it before. How this day becomes so important to the point fasting in that day, in this day, look at this. Muhammad, he come with this, like, Yawm Arafah, this is different now. Yawm Arafah, like, you know, the Muslims, when they do their stupid ritual. So fasting in that day erase all the sin in the previous year. I mean, do you see how easy it is? Go have sex, sleep around, rape, killed, just do fast, and that day all your sin is gone. I mean, how satanic, this religion is, if we can call it a religion. I'm trying to find the hadith. You give me a second. Abu Qatada al-Ansari narrated that the messenger, BBUH, was asked about fasting on the day of Arafah on the 9th of the month of Dhul Hijjah. He replied, fasting on the day of Arafah is an exception for the preceding year and following year. This is a false translation. What exception? What expectation? Expectation. I don't know if translation is coming, or I don't know what exactly this word means, but what it says here, that it's going to erase your sin for all the past year and the rest of the coming year. And he also was asked about the fasting of the day of Ashura, which the Muslims, they make it in the 9th, and the Jews supposedly used to do it in the 9th, they do it in the 10th. He replied, fasting the day of Ashura is an expiation for a preceding year. All right. But let's think about it for a second. Why fasting in that day or any day in the year will erase a previous year's sin and the coming year's sin? What is the logic? Muhammad, even he never heard of this day before. Suddenly this day became holy day for Muhammad. Suddenly this day became so important to the point this day can erase your sin. Here it says, and this is Sahih Bukhari, the Prophet came to Medina and he saw the Jews fasting the day of Ashura. He asked them about that. Do you see it? He asked them about that. He never heard of it. Never. They replied, this is a good day. The day on which Allah rescued Bani Israel, which means children of Israel, from their enemy. So Moses fasted in this day. The Prophet, he said, we have more claim over Moses than you. Here we go. He stole Moses from them. So the Prophet, he fasted that day, and he ordered the Muslim to fast that day. Do you see it? And now we go to the point. The point is, Muhammad is copying the Jewish Saturday, but he do not know what Saturday is about, and he do not know what Ashura is about. Are you getting my point? This guy, he have no idea. What if the Jews are lying? What if this day is a false day? Isn't it the Muslim, they keep saying the Jews, they lie, they corrupted their book, they are etc. blah, 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 blah. And then Muhammad, whatever they say, he take it and he make it a fasting day. And then not only that, he claimed that if you fast this day, it erases your sin.